What if your dad dies tomorrow, God forbid?
We have a funeral where we all attend and we wear all white.
What will that be signifying?
Releasing the dove and letting it fly to where it's meant to go to. There's no hope for me that what am I hoping? That he goes to heaven. You decide if you want to go to heaven or hell based on your actions. There's no hope once he's gone. He's gone. I go to the funeral, I throw the dust, I say, Hamba kahle baba, hamba. It's done.
Hi everyone, welcome back to O Narrative Podcast by myself, Promise Magunyani. This podcast is about marriage and family dynamics. Do not forget that if you want to sit here with me and be one of my guests, you need to send me your story on this email address. And also don't forget to leave your WhatsApp number on the email. Tell us your story and then we'll get back to you. We'll vet your story and get back to you. So if you are here now watching this podcast, you will need to watch the previous podcast first because this is kind of like a continuation. I am with two beautiful children here that last week I sat with the mom. So please watch that podcast and come here, or you can watch this and go back there. But for context, I think it will be better for you to start with the previous episode and come here. Welcome.
Thank you.
How old are you?
I'm 18 years old.
And you?
24.
Are you guys Gen Zs?
Yes, we are.
I can see you. You are telling me that you're a Gen Z. Are you also a Gen Z?
I don't like these terms and all these things, but I guess
Yeah.
so, yeah.
You are more of a chilled Gen Z then.
Yeah, we're not like everyone else.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Guys, you're so much welcome on my podcast, and you are the youngest people I've ever sat with. Right, and I've gotten like a go-ahead from your mom to sit with you guys and from yourselves as well. Yeah. And please introduce yourself. Tell me your name, your age, what you do. I don't think grades are really like important, but just tell me about yourself.
Do you want to start? Okay. Well, hello. I'm Ngubane. I am 18 years old. I'm done with high school.
Yay.
I'm the founder for a pageant, Mr. and Miss Sub-Saharan Africa, and I'm the ambassador for Miss Preteen RGP 2023, 2024, 2025, and forever. Just to add on, if you're trying to join, entries are open. You can find us on social media at Mr. and Miss _ Sub-Saharan Africa, and it's for both genders. So guys, just come on in and join.
Yeah. What are the pros and the cons? Like, if I'm a young girl or a preteen or a teen, what should I look forward to in the pageant?
Let me just say, when it comes to pageantry, right, most females look at it as I have to be skinny, and I need to be
beautiful,
and that is not the truth about pageantry.
Okay.
You can be skinny, you can be plus size, you can be dark, you can be light, you can be bold.
Do you also take plus size?
Yes. Size is not a problem in the pageantry sector.
What do you guys judge with?
We judge on how you are able to carry yourself on stage. So obviously, we judge from day one till the end of the day. So how you carry out yourself, how you help your community, because that's also like a really important thing. And pageantry also focuses on how you are able to take care of your community. So we judge on that too. And that's literally about it.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah.
Guys, please do join. Their entries are open. As I've said that, especially as young girls, young guys, it's for both men and women. You have to do stuff, especially when you're young. You have to do these things, and they will open more doors and more doors and more doors. And you, sir?
My name is Brendan Ngubane. I'm 24 years old, and I am a creative. So obviously, I took after the family arts, taking after my mom and dad.
Yeah.
I'm a creative director. I do documentaries, series, music videos, and whatnot. So,
You look like your dad.
Well, he's
my
I guess
dad.
he is a good-looking man at the end of the day.
Hey, that's why he married your mama.
Yeah.
Anyway, so how does it feel that now you are in the industry, but your dad is like up there, but not there to help you?
That was a very good question. That's something I have to live with ever since the separation, of course. And when we stopped talking, he is someone that's at the pinnacle of the industry. He's set records. He's broken all the records here in South Africa for television. So now, not having the person that I got into the industry via, it has been a bit of a challenge, but such is life, and I just have to treat it as if, for a better lack of words, as if he was no longer with us. What would I do if he wasn't around? So that's what I'm doing now. So I've still been getting by and looking forward to branching out and just creating my own identity, not within his shadow, and actually showing him that I can actually do better than him at what he trained me to do. So yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that there is that thing of wanting to prove to him that actually I will make it with or without you?
Not wanting to, it's a need. It's something that's always at the top of my mind. And
Yeah.
everyone respects him in his industry. He's earned the reputation he has, and I would like to do the same. And I think it'll be better for me because everything he's taught me, I have that. So
Yeah. Oh my
I
God.
definitely need to show him that it wasn't in vain and that I'm just simply better than him at what I do.
Yeah. Oh. It's bittersweet. Bittersweet.
Yeah.
So for those, where's my phone? For those that don't know, just for context, can I have my phone? Okay, here. Because maybe some won't go to the previous episode. So this kid's mother reached out to me on Instagram and she said, I noticed you have a podcast that resonates with my kids and I. We would love to share our story if it fits the brief. Take a look. And then she gave me an Instagram handle of a page. It says Father the Director. Who started the page?
I did.
Oh, why did I guess that it was you?
I did. I decided to start the page
Why?
with my younger sister, and then
Yeah.
I got my brother to also just hop on board.
Yeah.
Why, you asked?
What happened for you on the day to say, actually, I want to start a page?
Okay, well, like my mom has been saying, this has been an ongoing issue, and finally I've grown old enough, like he would say, I'll tell you when you're older. I'm older, he hasn't told me anything.
Oh.
So I've gotten to the stage where I'm aware of what's going on. And I'm just like, you know what, I've gotten to a point where I'm like, it's enough. He doesn't speak to us. He's blocked us multiple times. He doesn't speak to us. He lies. He does a lot of stuff. And if I can't communicate with you in any way, I'm going to take the biggest step and use my own way of communication just to get your attention. And it
Yeah.
worked. So I chose, you know what? You want to be funny? I can also be funny. I made an account, posted everything, put everything up there. And from there, it's just been 10 times worse. But it's been worth it, I guess, to getting our story out.
Yes. How did you come up with the name?
He's a father. Yeah, he's a father, not a dad. There's a difference.
Okay. Tell me.
So I would say a father is just a father. Yeah, that's my father. A dad is someone who's there, who lives up to his responsibilities. That's my personal view on it. It could be different to anyone else's,
Yeah.
but that's how I view
Yeah, that's your
father
narrative.
and dad.
Yeah.
You know, dad been there since day one. You can leave, okay, but still be there. Father, that's what he is. It's like dust. That's what he is.
What do you feel about that?
I second that. I think we all have the same beliefs. Obviously, we were all raised under one roof. So I agree with that fully. A father is just, and we only started calling him, we used to refer to him as dad, but we just felt like dad was a passionate term and we didn't have that passion anymore. And you're just simply the father. And
Yeah.
to be blunt, just simply a sperm donor in that essence then, because you just left the seed and you're not there to nurture it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When did you start seeing that your mom, when we grew up as kids, were you just seeing your parents as these heroes, my mom and my dad, my mom and my dad. When do you now see that here, something is not up? Do you want to start?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so when I was in grade 4 or 5,
Yeah.
so one time from school, I have a younger sister as well and brother. he took my sister and I to a lady's house, a friend's house.
Mm.
So obviously, it's dad's friend, okay, I don't know who she is. And then we found ourselves sleeping and staying the night over.
Hey, Batu.
So obviously now I'm like, something's weird, because then the next morning we were like really far from school, because at this time we were in the north, and this place, I still remember till this day, it was in this side.
The east.
Yeah,
Where
it was
are we?
in the east.
The
Yeah,
east.
basically. Yeah, it is
East.
the east.
So
It
it's
is.
far from the north.
Yeah.
It's far from the north.
Yeah, so that happened, and it was kind of sketchy, because I got home the next day after school, and my mom
So from the lady's house, you went to school again
the next morning.
with the same clothes that you guys were wearing.
No, you see, we slept in the daughter's clothes, because this lady had a daughter,
Okay.
and I still remember her name, but I'm not gonna say it.
Okay.
So yeah, that happened, and then obviously, moms asked like, "Where were you guys?"
So your mom was at home.
Yeah,
Like you left mom in the morning, but you never
Yeah.
came back.
yeah.
Yeah.
And remember at this time, I'm still kind of young, like I'm 10, 9, 10. So obviously now mom's asking, "Hey, where were you guys?" And I tell her. So obviously now mom is like, "Okay, let's go."
Let's go and
I'm
show me
young,
where you were.
And I'm young, so obviously now I'm like, she remembers this day. I was panicking because how am I supposed to tell you how to get from here to the other side of Johannesburg? But then we got to the highway, and then you see the cell phone, the Cell C tower.
Yeah.
That was my trademark. I was like, "Mom, I wanted to give up," and I'm like, "I remember this. Keep going straight. Keep going straight." So I think at that moment, that's
Yeah.
when I realized that something was
Things-
off.
Yeah. And for you, when did you realize?
So that only happened with her, like, because she was able to see something at that age, because my parents are very private,
Yeah.
so we'd never really know when there were problems. My mother was always good at hiding my dad's sins, even when he was in the wrong. She'd still come out and be a happy mom and not show any signs of division. But I only started to see the problems now when he is gone. I think probably when I was about 14, 15, and I'm asking my mom, like, "Hey, where's dad?
Yeah.
He's been gone for 2 days. He's been gone for 3 days." We used to him being gone like 2, 3 days a week. He travels a lot
Yes.
based on his job, but now we're getting to 1 week, 2 weeks, and I'm talking to my mom, and I can see she's trying her best to give a good answer, but I still have a lot of questions, and I can see the questions are annoying her because she also doesn't
She's
have the answers
stressed as
herself.
well.
And eventually, I'm just very good at calculating things, I guess. I was just observant, and when my dad would come back, he would give some half-assed story, and you'd think just because I'm a child, I'd take it, but I would already see the gaps, and once I saw gaps, that's when I knew something was wrong, because when my parents were working together in unity, there were never any gaps. You wouldn't even know if they were having an argument.
Yeah.
But now all of a sudden there are gaps. Now there are spaces where we can ask questions, whereas they always cover that, so there wouldn't be any questions. So
And as a boy, how was the relationship with your dad growing up? Yeah, actually growing up.
growing up, I think I had a good relationship with my dad. He was involved, even though my mom always had to lead as a woman and say, "Go do this with your son." He is a very busy man. Based on the
Yeah.
industry you're in, I'm sure you understand the hours are
Yeah.
very strenuous. So
Yeah.
we didn't really spend much time together up until I got older and I started working with him. Then I was able to understand that, oh, this is why he was never around to spend this much time with me. This is why we never went fishing like all the normal kids and their dads. And I started to understand that, oh, this is his life and
Yeah.
this is what kind of guy he is. And by then I was already far able to see that this guy has a problem.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You come off as a daddy's girl. Are you a daddy's girl? Were you a daddy's girl?
I was.
Uh-huh.
I was.
What would you potentially do with your dad? How was the relationship with your dad?
I choose not to remember because
Okay.
I don't have much to remember with me and my dad.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when he left, I was in grade.
Not grade 5, something.
Yeah. See, I was young.
Huh.
I was young, so that's what I'm saying.
When he left forever.
I was still young.
Yeah.
I was still young. So I wouldn't, like, our relationship, I don't remember anything. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't remember anything.
Anything.
Nothing.
So, and then now, your dad, you create the page, because I saw on the page the mistress then, because now your mom and your dad are divorced, are officially divorced. You now see the girlfriend. You guys put the girlfriend there. Why did you find the need to now drag the girlfriend into the page?
We didn't drag her, she put herself there. Like
How?
in the previous episode when my mom was stating that, they used to have a really cool relationship. Like my mom really had no problem with her whatsoever. She would let us go out with him and her, which was once.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a problem for her, Considering my dad doesn't go out with us like that, my mom was pretty chilled about it. And then we got to a point where, when was it? When they came to drop our phones off, so they got us all iPhones.
Oh.
And
nice.
then now, I think she was dancing in the mirror, doing some weird stuff. So mom obviously found it as a problem, right? But she didn't bring it up. And then after that, like many occasions happened, like the wardrobe's breaking, and then they'd say, no, she's breaking it on purpose,
Your
Now-
mom is breaking them on
yeah,
purpose.
that's what Ayanda's now saying. And then my dad is quiet now. So it's like, okay, so this is your spokesperson. You can't speak now. Now you're silent. So she just had a lot to say. She just had too much to say. She had an input for everything. So I'm like, okay, since you want to talk a lot there, let me also put you here. Because if it wasn't for her, I don't think we'd be in this situation right now, honestly
Yeah.
speaking.
If she had left a family to conduct their business as a family and let the father address his children, it would have been okay. But she was a hindrance. And it's a simple
Yeah.
example of if a man has a good woman in his life, if you meet a man who, just an example,
My
you meet a man.
husband.
So let's say you're not married, you meet a man who is married but going through a divorce, he's been
Yeah.
separated for some time.
Yeah.
That's okay. You didn't wreck the relationship. You came, you found him, he told you politely that this is the situation, he showed you, you understand. You're not doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
But the problem is now when you as a woman can't even be a voice of light to tell your man, hey, I think you should go and spend time with your family. I
Yeah.
think you should go and address your family.
Yeah.
Instead, you are normalizing his absence, which now festers a whole lot of horrible emotions and talks. You're leaving questions, and when questions are unanswered, it becomes a frustration. And that's where the situation went to. So she did involve herself fully, and yeah, I guess she'll pay the price for that.
How do you think she'll pay the price?
I think that it'll torment her and it'll eat her for all the days she lived to know that she potentially did more harm than the woman that ruined our family
marriage.
dynamic. She has done way worse. That woman, Brenda, she never had the nerve to show her face, get involved.
Put her life over Brenda. And you guys are like, Ayanda, we're
Yeah,
putting our lives down for her. Like,
You know what I think the problem also is? Because you know how like it's one thing to like feel like you're that girl or you're my dad's girlfriend, like that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Do as you must, whatever. But when you then cross the line and you disrespect not only us
Yeah.
but my mom too, it's just like yo.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
disrespect our mom, you're disrespecting us.
yeah. But knowing how difficult, obviously I don't know your dad, but I'm just taking from what your mom said and what you guys are saying. He seems like nobody tells him anything,
Yes, fully.
He controls everyone and everything.
Yeah.
Knowing how he is, how you guys are saying is, do you think there is any woman that could potentially tell him, don't see your kids, and he doesn't see his kids?
His mom.
Yes, his mother.
Oh, his mom.
Yeah, can we tell you our
Yeah.
relationship with
Yes,
her?
with your grandmother.
There's no relationship with her.
Never has been.
Our birthdays, she doesn't text us. Never has. I don't remember. Okay, I remember seeing her once in my life when I was young. That's
Once.
because, yeah.
And you guys are like in Gauteng.
Yeah.
All of one is in Gauteng.
Yeah.
He showed us where she works. We'd pass Monte Casino. He'd show us, this is where she works. But it took
She won't
years
take
for
you
us
guys.
to see her. And then eventually, my mother, being a good woman, tries to push for, hey, your mom should be involved in our lives.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, that was actually a horrible mistake. And this is where we need to see the change in our cultural beliefs as abantu abamnyama about, you should respect the mother, you should honor her, the people that raise the person you're with,
Yeah.
pay homage to them, involve them. We always try and be politically correct, but in some instances, it's the complete opposite. She should have been locked away and never let in, because my father ran away from her when he was younger than my little sister here. He ran away and he became homeless for some time, and he then got to where he is now. So he had to run away from his mother.
And now
To
your
escape,
mother is
so
trying to pull everyone back
Yeah.
to build a family with. So you guys have never been.
Oh, we have seen her.
We have seen her,
At
but
court.
but I've seen her less times than the amount of fingers I have.
Yeah, but like really speaking, like the most amount of times we've seen her was at court recently.
Yes.
You
Perhaps
guys have
outside
got
of
court
court.
cases or a court case. Tell me about,
Cases.
as young as you are,
Yes.
your father
Yes.
put you through it.
With his mistress, once again, where the woman herself will look and say, your 14-year-old daughter, I'm taking her to court. I don't know as a man how you can sit next to that person and sleep at night and be okay, knowing that this woman is taking my
child.
youngest daughter to court.
So what is the first case that you guys have?
Oh, there's so many of them, boy. So
The ones
they
that
all-
you
they
remember,
all
just tell me
center-
about whatever court case that you guys remember.
They all center around my siblings, and now my siblings and I now voicing ourselves out since they blocked us on all these platforms.
Yeah.
Going as far as blocking my mother on emails as well. So
Yeah, but-
there is really no room for communication. If my siblings need food and their father hasn't sent the monthly money, that is going to upset us. And if he's not answering, we will go on a public platform where we know all their colleagues,
Yeah.
and we will get the message out. Since we can't reach him, we'll get the message out to his colleagues, and they will take it to him,
Yeah.
which is what happened. And now, fast forward, he now is obligated to pay for all these things and make sure his children are all right. Basically, he
Yeah.
wasn't paying maintenance. He was sending home less money than I use myself as an individual, independently living in my own apartment.
Yeah.
He would send my family of 5 less money than what I use to survive for myself
For
as a
yourself.
young, struggling man who's still finding stability
Yeah.
and independence. So there's really no regret, and there was no other way things could have been done. It's either the world would expect for us to have just sat and been hungry and allow for him to spin the narrative and act like he's a great father as he posts on his social media. He's always posting the kids. And we blocked from these accounts, so we
Yeah.
can't even see it. And all the things he writes, everyone is like, you're such a great dad, you're such a great dad. You can ask her in the last 3 years, she's probably seen her father less than 5 times.
Ha.
Is that a father that cares? This is a father that will probably post you on Instagram every month,
Yep.
but he hasn't seen you in
In years.
Yeah.
And another thing, like he said, with my dad taking or allowing Ayanda to take my younger sister to court, I was taken to court while I was writing my finals for matric. So as in next week, I have a business exam,
Yeah.
and 3 days, before, I'm in court.
Instead of studying and having a peaceful mind, your father is giving you more stress instead of promoting your future success.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what were you arrested for? I can't believe I'm talking about arrest with kids.
Yeah,
Like it
it's
feels so
crazy.
weird.
It's
Yeah.
crazy. Because we put him out on social media, he said it was defamation of character. So we're like, oh, okay,
You care about your character.
yeah, that's
Care
what
about your image.
his image clearly means more than us, his own kids, right? So then we're like, okay, since we can see where your head is on now,
Yeah.
we're going to press that. We're going to press it more now.
That button.
Because you can't tell me it's defamation of character. We have more than enough proof. Honestly speaking, we have a lot we can just put up on social media.
Yeah, that we
Literally.
didn't put there, but we just put the truth. And if
Yeah.
the truth is defamation of character, then what happens to the law of freedom of speech? You know?
Also, when the system can't really, the system isn't there to help us in any
Yeah,
case
it's
either.
not. That's why we went that route. So before us taking him to social media, which is the reason for all these court cases that he's been opening at multiple different courts, which is already a very childish thing to do.
Why is he doing that? Because you guys
Yeah.
won't be able to travel there, what?
No, because
No, it just wants to make our lives hell. It's basically like
Oh.
there's think of every court you could think of in Joburg.
Then you've got...
You open one case there, right? It's already opened.
Yeah.
Why go open the same case everywhere?
No, because remember the first court we went to, the judge, what he was saying was in our favor.
Yes, so you
So
go to somewhere else.
obviously he's like, okay, maybe there'll be a different point of view if I go to this.
Other one.
Other-
I'll find another
yeah.
judge who I can bend to my will. And
And
that's
he-
what he does. He's very
Yeah.
good with his words. The man's a script writer, so he is very good at manipulating words and manipulating people's emotions. He specializes in an industry where he gives people emotions. You watch his episode, you feel a certain way.
Yes, and
He
we feel a
made you
certain way,
that.
hey?
So that's what he does, and
He's good at it.
he's brilliant.
It looks like he's good at it. Like it's been years and he's still
Oh,
going.
yes. Oh, he still is.
I
Yeah.
would assume that I would get tired.
The man has stamina.
But
Despite
then he-
having a multitude of health conditions that he's brought upon himself,
Yeah.
you would think that someone with a heart condition and diabetes and this cancer, what would want a peaceful life.
Yeah.
But there are no breaks there. The train just keeps going.
But then now he is setting himself for failure because now he's against his own offspring. You guys will press even harder than he would ever think. But is it not tiring?
Never.
Is it
Not
tiring?
for us. What is tiring is trying to start my independent life, and I have my own things to worry about, finding my own feet in life, and then I should get a call from my siblings saying that there is no bread. Dad hasn't put food, money for the last 2 months, and I'm sitting there with the little paycheck, just enough to do a little for myself, and now I need to
Oh my
cut
God.
that and now think, okay, how can I help at home? And then get shattered by feeling inadequate as a young man, wishing that I could actually step up and fulfill that role, which is something that haunted me for a while, which I eventually just had to accept that I'm just a young man. I'm not suitable to cater for a whole family, and this is not the walk I chose.
Yeah.
I'm just supposed to be worried about me, but he has left as the head of the home. I'm the firstborn son, so by default, I
It's on you.
now have to chase after him. Or, like for a while, I'd have to chase after my dad.
How would you chase after him?
So we work together.
How do you work together?
So he is a creative director.
Yeah.
I'm a creative director as well. So he was my mentor for as long as he was. And that's where I started spending time with him, seeing that, oh, this is the kind of person my dad is. Because now we're on set 18 hours a day.
Yeah.
I get to see that, okay.
That's
this
when
is-
you guys were cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we were cool, and then things weren't like, it was never really cool because I would be working on set. I'm staying in my mother's household. My mother and him are not on good terms. But I
Yes.
am with him every day, which caused a divide between my family and myself. I was now a black sheep in my mother's household.
Oh.
Because you're the one that's always with dad. He's not answering our
Yeah.
calls. He's not talking to us. He's not doing this.
You're not
but
talking
you're
to
always with
him
him.
when you get
You're
there.
always doing nice things. You're posting nice things. You're in Durban. You're in Cape Town. And it's like, guys, I'm working. It's not that I want to be spending time with this guy. It's just by default, I'm working.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's when I got to see the truth of what kind of man he is and how much of a manipulator he is and how he just lies to people. Everyone in the world thinks that he's a family man, and I've even heard the people that give him jobs thinking that, he's a family, he's a good man, he's like us. Meanwhile, it's the opposite. All the money he makes doesn't even come to his household. God knows where it goes to. He hides his funds in his mistress's account, and that's something I knew because I was there to see it. I would see the card, not with his name, but he's always carrying it.
Oh.
And I would hear the mistress asking him, can I use this
Have the
card?
card.
And it's like, why are you asking for your own card? Oh, it's not your card. Oh, how did you get this job? Oh, you're an actress. He's a creative director. The creative director is in charge of picking the cast. Oh, so he is in charge of you and you are his front man, which is what she did. She was now his spokesperson because he put her as the front man so that we can't get to him. So it was a very smart strategy, but it will crumble and we will be delighted to just wait and hear about it.
Don't you think when it crumbles, he's going to go to the next one? Just like your mother is
Yes.
speaking about Brenda.
He did the
and
same
now
thing
there's
with Brenda,
Ayanda.
yes.
You guys are going to be fighting another one, don't you guys?
No, we don't need to be fighting because the only thing we were fighting for and I'll speak in terms of my mother and I, is just take care of your children. You don't need to worry about me. I'm 24. Even
Yeah.
if I had to go to court and fight you, the judge would look at me and say, you're a grown man. So we're fighting to say, take care of your kids. And now that that's been done because of what my little sisters had to do by taking him on social media,
Yeah.
we no longer have to fight because now he pays his dues, even
Yeah.
though it's not what he should be paying, but we'll take what we can as long as we don't need to stress about this man or be in contact with him or get, harassed by him any longer.
Yeah.
So yeah, we won't have to fight another woman. We actually don't care. We never really cared. We just wanted, the
What-
kids just wanted to eat.
What was rightfully theirs?
Yeah, the kids just wanted to eat. That's all. That's all it comes down to. The kids were hungry and the chef was not catering to them.
Chef Dad. And when you'd be on set with him and he will be coming from another woman, how would the relationship be? Would you guys talk, or would you try to say, Dad, can I speak to you about family stuff?
Yeah, we would. And as soon as I do that, that would probably be towards the end of a job because film, you need to focus on set.
Okay.
There's a whole lot of stuff going on. If I'm part of the directing team, I can't really have time to talk about
Other stuff.
outside of the shoots because it's time, it's a schedule. This place is booked for this long. This actor is here for this
Okay.
long, So it's only at the end of a production. And every time I would do that, and I didn't realize for a while that that's what he was doing, he would tell me, we'll talk about that just now. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Tomorrow, when I want to mention the topic, he's throwing money in my face. He's throwing another job. Hey, here's a contract at this place for 30,000. I've got you a job. And then eventually, like, my mom would tell me, and I'd always fight, like, no, he cares about me. Like, you can't just say that. That's very insensitive to just say it's just for money and he doesn't care about how I feel. But he was just putting a pacifier in my mouth every time I opened my mouth to say, hey, family, shut up, here's another job, go distract yourself.
And that was also putting you away from your family. Like, it's
Yes.
just doing exactly what he has done.
Yeah, because when I get home, no one at home is talking to me now because everyone feels, can we trust you?
Yeah.
Which is a right feeling. Like, I understood, but I hated it because no one understood what it felt like for me. In my position, growing up my
Yeah.
whole life, this is what I was trained to do.
Yes.
And now I'm doing it, but I'm not allowed to do it.
To do it anymore.
Yeah.
Sure. And when when last did you speak to your dad?
In quotes.
When?
2 months ago.
Yeah, like December,
Early.
December. I didn't speak to him. I just spoke, like, because, in courts, there's the judge, and then there's me, and then there's
I
him.
don't know what happens in court. I just
Yeah,
watch
you
it on
don't.
TV.
No one
See?
addresses him.
Yeah.
No one.
Or nobody talks to each
No.
other.
Yeah, I was the only one that went to talk to him.
What did you say?
There's a day he was there with his mom and his mistress, and we were waiting in the court line for hours, and the kids were getting hungry now. My little brother's hungry, so I decided, no, man.
Let me go and tell
There's
my
your
dad.
There's you telling me you're hungry. There's your father. So I
Yes.
decided, okay, let me go and tell the dad, like, hey. And I go there, hey, Dad. He looks at me, gives me a funny look, ignores me. Obviously, there's tension. And I'm approaching him with kindness, so obviously that's already like, what do you want?
Yeah.
So I'm like, hey, Dad, your son is hungry. Do you want to buy him food? If he's hungry, tell him to come himself. This is an 8-year-old. This is an 8-year-old that's already afraid of his dad because he knows that that man doesn't care about me. So I do not like that man. That man scares me. That man is the reason things are like this. And fast forward, he just basically refused to get the food.
Ha!
Yeah,
He didn't get the food.
no. And he saw the child. He said, bring him. I brought him. I said, okay, I'll bring the child. My little
Because,
brother was
like,
resisting. I had to
he's-
force my little brother and drag him and say, here, here's Dad. He tries to hug the child. I pull the child away because, like, no, don't act like you love the child now.
Why did you pull the child away? Because now the dad is like, I want to hug my child. When now you're saying buy food.
If you want to hug the child, you walked past him. You would have hugged him when you walked past him.
But also, like, why are you hugging him if you haven't made time to see him?
Yeah, if you wanted to hug him, you would have hugged him, right? No one stopped you. It's not like he came to try hug him and my mom
Yeah.
said no.
Yeah.
So don't act like you care because that's what he does. He acts like he cares. And I do not like that and I won't tolerate that. I was just simply going to tell him, your child is hungry, give him food. And I asked him a simple thing. I said, would you like to please get your child food? If you don't want, that's okay. I will do it as I've been doing anyways. Because you're not doing your part as a father. That's also me giving you my low blow to let you know that I am dealing with your stuff right now.
Yeah.
This is your portion.
Yes.
You know, so
And I'm
I
in
don't
it.
appreciate that. Yeah.
And then in court, how far is your court case now? Like, if you are guilty, what's gonna happen? You're gonna pay your dad.
No, so actually, what happened was, in court, they were telling us that, you know what, if you don't remove these posts about your dad, you can go to jail, right? So I told the judge, listen, Your Honor, I will carry on posting. I will carry on
Yes.
because your system is not helping me. So let me help myself.
Yeah.
And then I think it was last month, like late last month, I got a call from his attorney, and they were like to me, "Hey Megan, we just want to call you because, you know, we don't want this to get out of hand, or we're gonna have to arrest you. So please, can you remove the post off your page?" And I was like, "I'm not gonna do that."
Yeah.
And obviously now the attorney is like begging me because he's like, I don't want them to arrest you." And I'm like,
Yes.
"Listen, you can. Please go ahead and arrest me. I'm still here today. I've been waiting to get taken to jail. It hasn't happened because it can't. You're gonna take me to jail because I'm speaking up. That's kind of funny. You're basically shutting down my rights to speak."
Yeah.
So
What is the last things that you have said? Like, I saw this on your page. You were calling your dad, and then I don't know if I think it was you. You were calling your dad, and you had put him on speaker, and then you were telling him that at school. I think you were talking about school fees or.
yes, so that was my little sister talking to my dad. Then that's when Ayana jumped in. You see? So
Yes, Ayanda was now there. And
yeah.
Why
So
was she there to begin with?
it was term 2, and you know we're all expecting to go back to school, right? But then I don't know what my dad, typical father, he's been saying, "Oh, I've been paying school fees for you guys, carrying going to school." So now obviously, you know, like my younger sister and brother, they were like, "How? What's going on? Because we have to stay home now." You know? So they called him, they speak to him, and he was just yapping a lot of stuff. And then it got out of hand because obviously, like, my sister's now frustrated.
Yeah.
And you didn't tell us about school. Now I'm expecting, like, I'm supposed to be going to school.
Yeah.
And you're telling me that I must stay home because you haven't paid for school fees, you know? And then that's when Ayana jumped in. Oh, what did she even say? I don't even listen to when she talks.
Yeah, it was just, to summarize, it was just a situation where children are supposed to go to school, right? That's
Yeah.
the norm. But now
Yeah.
they're at home and they're being told by their dad, stay at home, and they're asking why. And this is the same man always saying, "I paid your school fees." When they ask for money, "I don't have money, I paid your school fees." That's always his go-to. Just to find out that he's not paying the school fees. And now the 2 kids can't go to school because they go to a private school. And in a private school, you don't pay.
You go.
They
You
pull
don't
you
come
out.
to school.
So that's what happened. But he didn't even have the decency to communicate that with my mother. He just pulled him out of school.
And he kept quiet.
And he didn't tell my mom. So my mom is now going to the school trying to find out what's going on. My kids aren't on the list. What's going on? The man is paid. And they find out this man hasn't
Has
paid
not been
for
paid.
the last year. Wada. And that's where the problem is now. The kids are just simply asking, "Dad, what is going on? What will happen?" He's not giving them an answer. And already for kids to have to pick up the phone to say, "Hey, Dad," should it not be the other way around? And should it not even be? It shouldn't even be the dad calling the kids. It should be the dad calling the mom. In this situation, my dad believes that he will always fight.
Yeah.
So okay, why not send an email to my
Yes.
mom to say, "Hey, finances are looking tight." Which is a lie because finances weren't tight. The man is getting paid. I know how much the man gets paid. I've worked
How much
in the
does
same
he get
industry.
paid?
So
Plus
someone at
minus.
my level on a film set I was on 3,000 Rand a day.
And then you work.
And I'm a junior.
Sure.
I'm just a junior. Someone at his level in productions, based on the relationship, nothing less than 30,000 Rand a week, 25,000 a week. And that's still a discount. This is someone that can bill 15 a day.
Sure.
So you can already do the math. This is
The
someone
money's
that
there.
makes well over 200,000 Rand a month just from one job. And he doesn't just do one job. He's a freelancer. So he'll be doing this commercial while shooting this series, while doing this for Supersport or whatever, you know? So this is someone that makes well over 200,000 Rand a month. On a good month, I won't speak for the bad months, but even on a bad month, he can still afford because of how much
100K
money he
will
makes.
go out with it a month.
Yeah, this is someone that'll buy a shoe for 30 grand And then a week later, I'll hear him telling his kids he doesn't have money. But I saw him buy a shoe for 30 grand.
So now he only has to pretty much take care of the two last, actually. If even you,
I don't want that. I'm okay.
who takes care of you?
My mom. My mom can do it.
So why doesn't your mom do for everyone else?
She is. Right now, she is. He is nowhere to be seen. My mom is doing it, and she's been doing it for like the past years.
Yeah.
I don't need his money. Quite frankly, I don't. But his two kids, he needs to actually stand up now.
The only problem is it's easy for him to go out and make money and do all these things, right? Because he has someone else who is taking care of the kids that he doesn't need to worry about. He has someone else doing everything he should be doing, so
Yeah.
he has no need to worry.
Yeah.
But you can't expect the same for my mom. How is she supposed to go
Take care of
out and do all these business deals and stuff when she's just surrounded by children? But now that we've got that problem out of the way and got my dad out of our lives, which is what we'd been wanting, that's what's happening. Simple thing like December for Christmas. He didn't send anything for the children for Christmas, not a present, not an outing, not a message. Everything was done by my mom. Presents, lunch, outings, trips. It's done by my mother. So it just shows you now that the problem has been addressed and moved aside, life is back to normal. We hadn't had a family vacation in God knows how long, but we were a family that was used to going places every 2 months, you know. Sun City, Mpumalanga, this, that. It's not even the fanciest of stuff, but we always knew what we
On
could do.
vacation with
Yeah.
family.
So yeah, not even a Christmas message, not even a little present for his little boy, nothing. So yeah, that's what she means, that my mom is able to do all these things,
do all
and now
these
she's
things.
able to because he is out of the way and he can no longer torment us.
So now that you are speaking like as if your dad is out of the way now.
He is.
Now you're just dealing with the cases. You're just finishing off the cases. From here, what? Are you guys still going to keep the page? Are you guys still going to drag him? Why?
I think
this-
the page
okay,
can stay.
Yeah, it can stay. I mean, we've been going through this for a long time. The page has only been up there for like, what, 4 months?
You know, what's
That's
10
really
years
little.
to 4 months, really? Like, does the truth hurt you that much?
That you want it to be.
Does the truth hurt you that much? And the things we put out there aren't even the worst of it. So if he really wants us to speak,
We'll speak.
we really could. If he thinks the page was talking, we really could speak. I know, like what you said, find him on set. I can show up on set.
I want to ask you that, have you tried to speak to people in the industry
Yes.
regarding this issue that please
Yes.
help me?
Yes, so not us trying to speak to them. Instead of him addressing his family, he'll perhaps send his soundman, the guy that does the sound mixing, the HOD of sound. He'll send a guy like that, a guy named George. He'll say, hey, George, go talk to them. See if you can calm them down. Is that already not a problem? Instead of you going to address your family, you're sending another man with his own family that he has in line, that he takes care of. You are sending someone else. That's always the problem. Always sending other people to deal with your mess. And that makes it worse. If I offend you and I send her to come and apologize to you, will you accept my apology?
No.
Would it not actually aggravate you further?
Yeah.
That's exactly what has happened. And now he took it to this mistress that, okay, you'll try and salvage. But she was very quickly shut down by, we're not going to have these conversations with you.
You.
Call your man. So, yeah.
Have you tried to reach out to like celebrities?
Well, I've reached out to his. Well, you know, when I was younger, there used to always be that uncle that my father used to, introduce us to.
Yeah.
So, yeah, him.
Who's that?
Dumsani.
Who's Dumsan?
It's
One
a
of-
producer by the name of Dumsani. Very good guy, good head on his shoulders. He did try, he did hear us out. He was one of the only person
Who was able
to hear us out. And he told us, I'm so sorry, I never knew this is how things were with your dad. I always had suspicions your dad was lying. And this is a friend that he'd go to for financial assistance when things were bad. So he really was there for him.
Yeah.
But he discovered that I've been there for this guy, but this guy has been lying to me all along. So, yeah. Ever since then, like, we're very private. We don't like talking to people. So
Yeah.
we don't need to go to our dad's friends to tell them, hey, we're going to go to our dad.
Yeah.
And that's what we did. But then in this situation, we just called the friend to say, hey, like, this is the situation. Your friend is not putting money. He's not supporting his family. He is lying on top of that, acting like he's doing all these things. Can you please speak some sense into him? And that didn't work out. I think they had a falling out. And there are a bunch of famous friends we could have spoken to. And I do hate that term famous. And that's something my dad
Yeah.
taught me. Like, we in the film industry, all these people on TV, they were never celebrities to us. These are regular people that we'll see in our house every day.
Yeah.
These are people like Siyabonga Shibe. All these guys, they're all on Shaga Ilembe.
Yeah.
I can name so many people in that cast that I've sat with in their houses, drank there, had meals with them. I will never go to those people because what is it going to do? It's just me tarnishing my image now, really. Like, I'll just
Looking
look like
like
a
a
stupid
beggar.
child in their eyes
Yeah.
because to them, they have this idea of their friend.
Yeah.
He's this great guy. So now it's like, your son is angry. Your MQ, your son's upset. Talk to him. That's how it would have looked. So that's why we never did that. Yeah.
So, what do you think about the justice system? Because you guys have been to court a lot of time.
Okay, well, honestly speaking, I think like the system doesn't have our backs. And when I say our backs, I'm standing up for kids and women. They take these situations really lightly. It's either our fault in any way or the situation just, it's invalid. So the system is really bad
Yeah.
and it forces us to now do stuff our own way.
Yeah.
And then that can kind of be like a problem because our own way could be something that could take me to jail, you know, for example.
Yes.
I mean, it happened, but you know,
Yeah.
it's not. I don't believe we have anything to stand up for kids or women in South Africa.
And for you, what do you think about the justice system of South Africa?
I think it's very weak. I think it's been weak before our time. I don't think it's actually ever been strong. I think it's make-believe. I think it's just a bunch of men in suits who finish the money on their convoys with their little entourage. That's where everything goes to. That's really where all the money goes to.
Yeah.
Because I used to sit as a young man, you know, like, and I'll speak as a boy, like, especially like my views when I was a young boy until I learned only now, was that we'd hear about things like rape and crime against women and children and all these kind of things, you know. And we always used to sit there like as gents and think, why don't they just go to court or why don't they go to the police?
Yeah.
Like, we used to have those kind of arguments with girls and we'd look insensitive, and most guys out there, most young men really don't know that it's a useless system, that this system does not protect women and children. Men can fend for themselves,
Yeah.
which is the reality of life. We're equipped to just brush it off and be less emotional towards these things. But I did grow to realize that the court system is useless. All the things we used to tell girls, why don't you just go to the police and report it? Hearing a girl only come out 4 months after being
Yeah.
raped, coming out, it's like, why didn't you go though? Like, we would really be like annoyed, genuinely. Like, why didn't you go? Why are you telling us now? What should we do? But I had to grow and go through this personally, and I don't think I would have ever understood it the way I do now because I've gone through it personally. I've gone to court multiple times with my family. We spent the last 2 years going to courts almost every week. Every week I was going to court, so very fun.
Yeah.
But that's when I realized, because you don't just hear about your cases when you go there.
Yeah.
You sit and you listen to other people's cases. You listen to a girl come and say she was raped, and you listen to the verdict and you sit there shocked, wishing you could stand up and say, "Judge, how dare you?" Or like, "Did you not hear what she just said?" And it just gave me a perfect, clear picture. It just made everything clear that this place is useless. And this is why my mother never wanted to come here.
Yeah.
Because it's useless. And I feel bad as a kid because all these years we've just been saying, take him to court, stop fighting, arguments, left, right. He's always going to make you look unreasonable. So just take him to court. She tried to do that. He still spun the block. He used his money. He used his lawyers to go open cases everywhere. The man was using 3 lawyers against his family. Not one, 3. So, yeah, the justice system is very weak. It's non-existent.
Yeah.
The honest truth about South Africans, especially for women and children, they should know that there is no justice.
Sure.
There is no justice, because even us going to court, telling them, like, I'll give you a simple example with us. We just needed our dad to pay child maintenance. That's why we're really fighting him. If he was paying, you know, like you can pay for things and be a crap or whatever. You can do what you want when you're paying for
Yeah.
things, you know?
Yeah.
Even some women, they let their men cheat because,
He's taking
taking
care
care
of
of the kids
stuff.
and everything's good, so he can do what he wants.
Mm.
But the system here, like, we just wanted to go there to make sure, can this man pay? We don't want to fight. We're not asking you to bring him home. We just want him to pay for the kids.
Yeah.
That couldn't happen. So where are we supposed to go? Do you know what made things happen? What my little sisters did, taking the initiative to say, we're going to set this page up, we're going to do A, B, C, and D.
Yeah.
Only now he's paying. Before that, all these 10 years, we've been going to courts, not just here, going to courts in Durban as well. My mom has been taken to courts in Durban, all these things.
Sure.
Imagine going on a flight to go. You're not even from there, but you have to go defend yourself against something you didn't even
In
do.
a different province.
So there is no justice. The justice system is useless. The government, these court systems, they are all non-existent. They are make-believe. They just put people there at those desks. Those people there don't even know what you ask. Where can I get this form? They don't. Sibusiso, Jablani. Like they don't know. They don't even know their jobs. So
Yeah.
it should show you that it's just a bunch of uneducated people leading a nation. And
Yeah.
I don't even want to go back to my main, like where my thinking has taken me to, but it just took me to a point where I kind of believe that, hey, if like white people were in charge of this stuff, I think it would run a lot smoother, you know?
You think?
Because I really feel like our seniors, Obaba wetu, like they've let us down. These grown men here in governments and all these positions to actually make a difference. Like Opegicele, all these guys, they make believe superheroes. Like we need people that can actually deliver the tasks.
Yeah.
Like, how can you believe, like, even you asking me the question, I could almost say is a rhetorical question because that is the same man who went on live television and told women that at least she didn't get raped by all of them. It was only just one or two. What justice is there when that's justice himself speaking? It already tells you enough that there's no justice. So we took our fight into our own matters and we prevailed.
Yeah.
We didn't get help by the government.
Yeah.
Those court cases actually just stalled, used a lot of our money, used a lot of our time, used a lot of our effort and emotions for nothing. So yes, it's non-existent. There's no justice for women and children here.
In South Africa.
There's no justice.
Sure, that's very deep. I gave you a minute there to cough it out.
Yeah.
That's very deep. And I hope like the people in those places can be able to see this, that a young man who's 24 has lost hope in the justice system over his family, you know, and then now you are being put in a position where you have to say these things because you are experiencing them yourself. But just before we close up, you guys said that, I think we're speaking offline, that you feel that your life is being played on scripts, might be played on scripts by your dad, who's like a creative writer or creative director. Why do you feel that way?
He has a show. What's it called?
The one that Ayanda's on.
Yeah, something.
What is it? Smoke and Mirrors.
Yeah.
Smoke and Mirrors, yeah. So it's
Where-
not his show, but
Okay.
that's where his beloved is acting and appearing. The
Ayanda.
Ayanda Bandla.
Okay.
Yes.
So what's making you think that your life is being acted on that?
Just if it's not a coincidence, it's
Yeah.
just really very weird
Yeah.
that so many times we've watched this happen. Like she plays a role of a homewrecker.
On the Smoke and Mirror.
On Smoke and Mirrors, she plays the role of a homewrecker who is in cahoots with the mother-in-law, the homewrecker. Yes, and that's just the same with us. It's not even my father's mother.
Your
Not
grandmother.
It's not my grandmother. My grandmother is resting. May she rest in peace.
Yeah.
But that lady, that old lady, she condones what the mistress has been doing in this marriage with my mom and our family. She sides with her. We know I've heard that she's met her, all these nice things. She approves of her.
Is
Like,
that what
She was-
happens also in the Smoke and Mirror
that's
show?
what's happening there as well in the show. She's in cahoots with the mother-in-law, and she is wrecking her family on television. But so that guys know that television is not really a lie, she's doing this in real life and in TV. So she's just showing you her real life, and that's
Yeah.
simply what it is. She's not even acting. It's just,
Her
it's
living
being
her
yourself.
life.
She's
It's
in her
like, hey
natural
guys,
habitat.
this is me. Yeah.
Deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's strange.
It is.
Very.
That's
Especially
strange.
the timing as well. I don't know, as a person, would you feel comfortable?
Two?
Like, go and act as a home wrecker and knowing that you're currently wrecking a home for real?
No. No.
Even the
I
thought
think
of
maybe
it,
that's
like,
what will expose her. Maybe that's why we're meant to come here, so that people know that, hey, this one's not acting. She's
She's
showing her
showing
real
us.
life. This
Yeah,
is your
maybe
real
it's
life.
an exposure. Who
she's
knows?
opening a door.
Self-exposure.
You just need to walk in and see.
Self-exposure. Yeah. And we're
So-
here for it. We'll promote the show. Like, yes, definitely.
I must
Please
watch
go,
the Smoke and
through,
Mirrors. I
Watch
must
Smoke
see
and
the
Mirrors,
I Am the
guys.
Lady.
See what you see. Let me know what other funny things you see. And just tell me how good her performance is. Because real life and on TV, she's not a bad actress, hey, guys. So put your
she's good
ratings
at
down
that.
in the comment section below and let us know which episode you like the most.
That's your host for today, guys. You know what? That's so funny. That's very funny. So then, as a man yourself, how has this changed? Are you in a relationship? How do you view marriage? How do you view relationship? How do you view family? Do you even have time for relationships? Or are you thinking about your family?
But for a while, I didn't. I was very heartless. I wasn't soft and gentle towards anyone's feelings because I just turned feelings off. So I just believed in speaking the truth, and that was my way of living. And I realized that was offending a lot of people. It made relationships tense with my mother, my siblings.
Yeah.
Even when I did see a girl in the past, I could see those little things, and that's when I started talking to my mom, and she started telling me that, my son, don't let this become your life now. Don't
Yeah.
let your father become don't sit in that shadow. Remove yourself from there and allow me to clean you and show you how you are supposed to meant to treat women and how to conduct yourself as a man. So I haven't given up. I believe in relationships. I've been doing my best to just learn how to just be a better man and
Yeah.
talk to women. Yes, my mom does still scold me a lot and tell me that you're too tough, you're such a tough, hard person. And given by circumstances, yes, I did become very tough. I am
Yeah.
a very tough individual. I do know that. I'm not
Because you're
afraid to
coming
speak
from
to
your
people.
dad.
I'm not afraid to voice my opinion because keeping quiet, I saw what keeping quiet gets you. So,
Yeah.
no kuluma manje mina. But I did get to the point where I haven't given up just because it didn't work for him. It didn't work for him because he made it not work. I saw it work
Yeah.
and he made it not work. So all I have to do is it's a learning curve. So I just have to take everything that I saw him do and know that I'm supposed to do the opposite.
Yeah. And for you, young lady?
Am I in a relationship?
No.
No. I don't think you're in a relationship. But how has this affected your life entirely?
One thing I've noticed is I'm a very I wouldn't say I'm heartless, but I'm very hard towards stuff.
Oh.
And I think I take that from my mom. Because something can happen and it will be oh, okay. But deep down it's supposed to actually hurt me and make me cry. I'm not a crier. I didn't get that from my mom. She has that.
She's
But
a crier.
I'm not the type to break down easily. It's really hard to break me. My dad tried, he failed.
Yeah.
I should be depressed.
Yes.
Honestly speaking, a teen like me who was being taken to court during finals, I
Ish.
should have been caught doing drugs, doing stuff I'm not supposed to be doing. But I was strong because, things happen for a reason. And I believe that this happening to us, it wasn't supposed to happen. I'm not saying it's good that it happened, but it's just going to build my siblings and I and my mom to become better people.
Yeah.
And I'm just looking at this as a door opener type vibe.
What is the good that you're taking out of your dad?
Oh, the good. The only good I'm taking is being a creative director. He's brilliant at his job and I'm brilliant at what I do too. Other than that, there's nothing good about the man.
But that one thing still counts.
Yeah, it does. That's the only thing I'll ever give him credit for. I will never deny the fact that what I know from him. But other than that, no.
What if your dad dies tomorrow, God forbid?
It was God's doing, not ours.
We have a funeral where we all attend and we wear all white.
What will that be signifying?
Releasing the dove and letting it fly to where it's meant to go to.
And hope.
There's no hope for me. What am I hoping? That he goes to heaven. You decide if you want to go to heaven or hell based on your actions. There's no hope once he's gone. He's gone. I go to the funeral, I throw the dust, I say, Hamba gahle baba, Hamba. It's done. Maybe I'm supposed to be more, maybe 2 years he'll come around. No.
Yeah.
I chased him, which it's supposed to be the other way around. And that hurt my relationship with my mother and siblings. For years, I tried to bring my dad home. Every time at those jobs, hey, Dad, can we have a family braai? No, I'm busy. I tried. So
Yeah.
let him do what he needs to do. He'll go to where he goes when it's his time.
Why do you guys still call Ayanda mistress after your mom's divorce is finalized?
Show me Home Affairs papers.
Oh.
If she's married and she's the wife, then she's the wife. Right
Yeah.
now, a mistress is a mistress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even the judge said that in
Even
court.
the judge said it. Yeah, like a mistress is a mistress. I must call you a wife. Whose wife? You don't have my surname.
Yeah.
You are a bandla wena. You're not
Ngubane.
one of us.
So you guys are Ngubanes.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perhaps we'll change our family surname when all the children have turned 18 and then we'll all have one surname. But I can't change my surname because then that detaches me from my siblings and my mother. But yes, I would kill to change the surname. But I've just decided that I will better the man with his own surname, and that's what I'll do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any message for young girls that are in the same situation as you?
I do. So it's not easy, I'm talking in terms of any situation girls are going through, and also the same as mine. It's not easy. You're not bound to feel strong or whatever, but just speak up, You might not be heard here and there. Unfortunately, it's normal now.
Yeah.
But if you feel like, you know what, I'm tired of this, speak up, dude. Open a social platform, tag me, I will help you. Listen, the system can't back you up, but me, my family, my friends, we all will, So just and be strong, hey? Because in today's times, we tend to be very weak as girls. And I think with what's going on in terms of, all of the stuff that's going on in South Africa, we tend to be weakened by that. And we need to actually
Toughen up
now. I don't think I'd say that about girls, but we have
Yeah.
to do that now.
Yeah. Your mom spoke about an Instagram page that you guys started. It's like a community of people that are going through the same things as you guys. What is that page?
The page is called Counter Me 30.
Count on Me 30.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that is a page that basically stands up for female and kids' rights. And when we say rights, we mean if you're going through the same situation as us, or you've been raped, or anything's happened to you, we want to be the voice for the voiceless.
Okay.
So we decided, we're going to open and make this initiative grow.
Yeah, that's a very great initiative. Any message to your dad? Speak.
Is
'Cause I think-
profanity allowed on the show?
Go ahead.
That's all.
I think silence is better since he's good at it, so I'm going to do it too.
I only did that because that's the last thing my dad did to me when he signed the divorce with my mom.
Yeah?
He looked across the room, he hit his middle finger from the judge, and he did this.
Boy.
So it's my turn.
On
Wow.
my platform. Now Kolis is going to kill me.
Oh, no.
But no message to him, just a message for young men. Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, stand up for your households. I know right now we're lost as South Africans in Mkruvo, people in my age group, like we are lost.
Yeah,
That's
vibe.
how I used to distract myself for a while from these problems with my family. I was just always out. I'd get money from my dad, working and on set with my dad. At home, I was a black sheep because I'm with my dad. So it's like, okay, let me go and drink. But you can't keep doing that because your households need you. If your dad's not there and you're grown, step up, man. Do something. No
Yeah.
one's telling you that it's your responsibility, but just be there at least. Like support emotionally, even if you can't do it financially, just show support because I wish I had started doing it a lot sooner. All the time I used trying to distract myself, I could
Yeah.
have put it into, we could have even sorted things out quicker sometimes, I think. So just be there for your families and stop trying to distract yourself because you're still going to have to face it. And
Yeah.
yeah, just be there for the women and just treat them with love, man. Even though women can be crazy at times and stuff, guys, like, allow it because it probably still comes back to us. So just do better. That's all I'd say to the guys.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you so much for making time for me and for opening up, and it's always good to people that will see you and they relate. It will be good to see you guys speak up like that. You're going to give somebody courage. And also you're going to show dads that are like your dad as you explain him to step up. Because I don't think kids have to go to this length for me as a parent to step up. So it's a really serious matter. And I also hope people in the entertainment industry that are working with their dad, that knows their mom, can just step up, professionals, lawyers, just step up and help, and not putting everything, their word as Bible, because they are all sides of the coin. But from this perspective, just be kind, do your job. And it's love and light from me, guys. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.